Hey everybody, welcome back to another 10-Minute Marvel. And I realized I hadn't done my video yet on, well, the three movies coming up and where I rank them. So, 2025 it's going to be giving us a lot of Marvel goodness from three animated shows. We have, coming up in January, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Even throwing in a bonus, we have What If, the final season. That's coming out in, 3 days? So, real soon here. Then we're also getting Eyes of Wakanda in August 6th. And then Marvel Zombies in October. I'm guessing it's going to be around Halloween time, probably finishing up the week of Halloween. Then for shows, we get in March Daredevil Born Again. In June, we get Ironheart. And in December, we're going to be getting Wonder Man. But I've already done videos on all of those because the past few weeks of 10-Minute Marvel, we've been talking about those different shows. We did animated shows first, then we did the live action. This past week, so this past episode, which you can find here on the channel, click onto the channel and then the podcast tab, we talked about 2025's movies because we're getting 3 of those as well. And we're under 2 months away. Hell yeah, we're under 2 months away from Captain America Brave New World. So that's going to be the first one that kicks us off. We're going to have Sam Wilson taking over the mantle of Captain America. And I want to see in this movie him fully embrace Captain America. I think that the trailer kind of teases some of what we can expect, in that he's going to be Captain America, but he's going to be figuring out how to not be Steve Rogers, or how to set the expectation with others that he's Captain America, but he does it his own way, not just copycatting Steve Rogers, which is what they may want to see. I think we even see that some with his interactions with Thunderbolt Ross, and some of the lines that have been said. So I really dig that idea for a film. Plus, we're going to get Red Hulk. We don't know who fully the villain. Well, no, we do know fully who the villain is. Sorry, I was thinking about the next one. With the leader. Plus, we have the Serpent Society in there as well. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a big movie, and it's going to feel kind of like the Captain America movies have before. There's going to be this intrigue and espionage element to it, but also you're going to have more than just Captain America. Like, for example, a lot of the Iron Man films focus on Iron Man, and there isn't necessarily another powered hero or another caped hero. Costumed hero, I guess would be a better way to say it. This one, we're going to have Sabra. We're going to have Falcon. We're going to have the whole of the Serpent Society, or at least a chunk of it. We have the leader. We have Red Hulk. There's going to be a lot going on. There's even rumors of, like, the Hulk in there. I'm assuming those rumors aren't true because Mark Ruffalo can't keep a secret. But there's a chance. Then, coming after that, in May, we have Thunderbolts Asterisk. Now, don't know why there's asterisks on this. I suspect it's because the name is kind of slapped on. It's a name that's given to this team or this group to kind of make them into a team, whether or not they accept it. This is the one that I was talking about, where we don't have a really well-defined villain. It's most likely going to be Val, at least that's my assumption, but is she going to be played out as the villain the whole time? She seems to be the one who's putting this team together. We also have Bob, who's going to be a fun character. I'm not going to spoil who Bob is. If you don't know, I say leave it as a surprise. But if you're watching this video, you probably already know. And then the team. The team is going to be fun. I love in the trailers the chemistry between, like, the main part of the team. So you're Yelena Belova, you're Red Guardian, Bucky and John Walker. But there's even more. We are getting Ghost back, and we're getting Taskmaster. And some people are assuming or guessing that we maybe are going to end up with the Red Hulk. That's why there's maybe an asterisk. Maybe they're holding off on the idea of this team as the Thunderbolts until after Captain America Brave New World. And then the final movie coming in July is going to be Fantastic Four First Steps. This is a multiversal story. There's a lot of kind of interesting rumors around this one. And we know a few things about it. We know that we're getting, obviously, the whole Fantastic Four team. We're getting Galactus. We're getting a Silver Surfer. But not Norrin Radd Silver Surfer, which I kind of like because it messes with expectations, and with Secret Wars coming up, I expect there kind of be a reset. Some of the cool elements that I think could be really interesting is one, well, first off, we might get some RDJ as Doctor Doom, so that'll be exciting. But then also there's rumors of a Council of Reeds, so kind of like we saw the Council of Kangs at the end of Quantumania, we might see a similar thing where it's a bunch of Reeds who are trying to put their minds together, and unfortunately not always the best at it. Or I mean, it's the Reed Richards problem of he is so hyper focused on a specific task that he doesn't necessarily think about everything else as well. And I suspect they're going to play into that with the Council of Reeds. And this Reed may be different because he has Sue and because he potentially has a family in this one. So I'm going to do what I did for the other videos that I did on the animated and the live action television. I'm going to rank these movies least anticipated to most anticipated. Now, I'm excited for every single one of these movies. I think there's interesting things about them, but I have to rank them because why wouldn't I rank them? So, to kick it off, my number 3 is going to be Captain America Brave New World. Yes, that is the one that is coming out the soonest, so, I mean, I'm going to be there opening night to see it. But the Captain America films generally hit so-so for me, and I want to see what they can do with Sam Wilson, because I think that's potentially a more interesting character, unfortunately, than Steve Rogers was. Steve Rogers tends to be a fairly straightforward character. But with Sam Wilson, I think there's a chance for there to be more depth and nuance and just kind of a different way of handling things that should be fun in this movie. My number 2 is going to be Thunderbolts Astros. I love the team in this one. I love just the chemistry that we've seen on screen. It feels like it's going to be one of those there. It's a little bit funnier than some other Marvel movies. There's going to be some big kind of action pieces to it. But when I say big action pieces, I think more hand to hand. Whereas in Brave New World, it's going to be maybe a little bit larger scale with the emergence and adamantium and different world governments fighting each other. And I like that idea of that little bit more close combat. Plus, I'm really curious to see what they do with Bob, what they do with the villain. Is it going to be Val? Or is there going to be somebody else introduced, maybe connected with Bob, wink wink, nudge nudge, who ends up being kind of the antagonist that the team has to deal with? And then I think most people would probably say this. My number 1 is going to be Fantastic Four First Steps. I just want to see a great Fantastic Four movie. The cast looks stellar. Ralph Ineson, who's voicing Galactus, that is going to be a phenomenal voice for Galactus. And I just want to see what they do with it, because I think there's going to be a lot of fun elements that they can play around with, and they can treat it completely uniquely. And I hope that they do. I hope that they give us I mean, it's not quite what I had envisioned and hoped for for the first Fantastic Four movie. I kind of want a Lost in Space sort of thing, but I hope that it's big, epic, and just really well done. And I think because of the failures of the first four Fantastic Four movies that have come out outside of the MCU, I think there's just this element of it better be good. And I anticipate that it is going to be good, which is why it's my number one most anticipated. Let us know what your most anticipated Marvel movie coming out in 2025 is. I listed off all the three. There's also on the community tab a poll that you can vote on. If you enjoy this content, please give the video a thumbs up and check out the other videos we have on the channel. We have videos on Marvel trading cards, comic books, news and rumors, and I expect as we get closer and closer, I'm going to have more and more rumor videos about all these movies and shows that are coming up. Like I said, we talked about the movies in detail on the podcast, so you can check that out here on YouTube. Click on the channel, subscribe if you haven't already. We do appreciate everybody who has subscribed and everybody who is checking out the videos. And then click on the podcast tab. Or you can search for 10 Minute Marvel wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcasts from. But with that, we'll see you next time.